Howdy and welcome to the training. My name is Frank Salas. I go by the name The Talented Mr. Salas. And in this video, we are going to cover how to use your Facebook page analyst tools to grow your Facebook page. So without further ado, let's jump right in. This is something that I do, or at least have my team do, every Sunday night, because it's always the last 7 days, and I just want to give reports to myself as well as my clients that we're serving on how their Facebook page is growing. So if you're utilizing virtual assistants like I do, or if you do it on your own because that's where you're at right now, this is kind of the process, and ideally you'd like to internalize this and look at the metrics that are really important to you. I'm going to cover a lot of these, but it's still a brief training, so make sure you come in here, make sure you play around with this. So what I do is I go to my Facebook page, or a Facebook page that I manage, and if you are the admin there, at the very top, you'll be able to see these things like page, messages, notifications, and insights. Go ahead and click on insights, and that'll give you your information for the last 7 days. Maybe you're doing monthly, maybe you're doing daily, whatever kind of updates you're doing. Make sure that you select that there. Now, I always like to do a week, because every week for myself and my clients that I'm managing growth for, we give them an update and say, hey, great week, we did this, this, and this. And when you remind your clients of why they're paying you every month to manage their pages, this is the type of value that they're looking for. So first and foremost, you want to know what kind of actions they have on their page. And Facebook's really cool. This is what I love about Facebook and the internet in general. If you don't know anything, there's usually this little bubble or a circle with an eye in there, and you can just click on that and it'll tell you what that looks like, or go further deeper. And there's just a bunch of information on here where you can see where people are coming from, what city they're coming from, what device they're on, just so much information that you can take from there, and you can easily go in. I'm going to stick on the overview page right now, but I did want to let you know there's a lot for you to focus on all these things. So I'm looking at the actions on page, the pages. I basically tell my clients all of this. Any of these little metrics that we have coming up here, I will say, hey, our post engagement is up 59% this week. They're like, oh man, that's awesome. That sounds great. Our reach is up 108% this week compared to the previous 7 days. And I just kind of give them the week by week, play by play. Now, here's something that is really, really helpful, not only to me, but to any clients that you might be managing. At the very bottom, you can add a bunch of different pages to watch. And right over here, these are kind of the people that I aspire to compete with. Generally, I aspire to compete with Ty Lopez, Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, Grant Cardone, Chalene Johnson. These are the people that I look up to. These are people that I want to make my rivals. Grant Cardone as well. I don't know if I mentioned him, but if I did, double mention for my boy. And what I do is I look to see at my total page likes. I'm at 790, and their total page likes. And there's a long way to go. But everything is step by step, and everybody has their own journey. So right now, in this moment, I am growing in the last week at least, I grew at 2.9%, almost 3%, while somebody like, Chalene Johnson, I basically beat everybody here except for Ty Lopez. And I used to think a certain way about Ty Lopez, but when you actually look at the guy's numbers, the guy's doing some big, amazing things, and he puts out really great content, and he's constantly advertising, constantly. So I can guarantee a lot of that engagement is from advertising, specifically advertising videos on Facebook ads, which I do have a lot of other trainings for. But here's what I look at. I look at their total page likes, my total page like. I look to see how I compare with those people. Like Ty Lopez is doing great. He's pulling some great numbers, 3.5%. He's got millions of more followers than I am, but apples to apples, or at least in this capacity, we're kind of competing together. We're in the same bracket, and that's kind of motivating to me. I like seeing that. Maybe you don't. Maybe you might get discouraged. I like that. Now check this out. Ty Lopez had 34 posts this week. I had 32 posts this week. Now look at everybody else, like Gary V, Chalene, Grant Cardone's just Mr. 10X, and he's got 144 pieces of content out there. So I just like to see what kind of action are these people taking, how are they growing their accounts, and where do I stack? This is really the key though, engagement this week. Ty Lopez is destroying everybody with their engagement. And my engagement is growing, but it's nowhere near where these guys are. So I always like to, and I hate using this term more realistic. I like to look to people that aren't as far along as the journey as I am, is what I like to call that. So Like, somebody over here, Russell Brunson, he only had 5 posts and he had 3.1 thousand in engagement, and he went up, just about the same that I did. So I technically am beating Russell Brunson by growing his Facebook page this week by a tenth of a percentage. Obviously, he's got way more followers, and his following grew way, 3% of 170,000 is bigger than 3% of 800. So just putting that there, but it lets me see what's there. And there's other people like Kim Luna, who's a rising star in the social media. Lewis Howe's, been there for a very long time. Truth 9 to 5 is an online community that I, look up to as well. And I just kind of see what they're at. Okay, they got 14 posts, they're growing, and they've got 261 on the engagement. So after my top 10, it gets a little bit more quote unquote realistic, or just people who are more in my stats range. I like to see how they're doing, but more importantly, what I like to see is what people are doing. So if you ever find yourself trying to figure out, okay, I don't know what I'm going to post, why not share other influencers in your industry? Like, I'll come to Ty Lopez's page, I'll click on this, and it'll tell me the top posts from Ty Lopez. And I'll take this, study it for sure, maybe consume the content, maybe not. In this case, in this particular video, I watched it. I was like, this is a good video. And then I shared it, and I asked my followers do you think Ty Lopez is buying followers? So I asked a question about somebody else's content, and I got a lot of engagement. And because it was Ty Lopez's video and people are already looking for him, and he is already a giant in my industry, the only thing that I'm doing is I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, and he's paving the way for our industry. And I'm just there taking advantage of the effort that he's putting in there. So that's basic marketing right there. Take a look at what people are doing, share this, and that'll help build your engagement, because these are proven top posts from Facebook that'll say, hey, this got a lot of likes, this got a lot of engagement. And if it worked for them, it'll work for you too. And this will help you grow your engagement as well. So just a quick overview on how I use my Facebook Insights tool for my page. Now, I don't know what's going on with Facebook, but normally there's some analytics here. You're going to have to take my word for this, but there's different types of content. Now I study my content, and there's different types of content. So obviously this one right here is a video that I put up. This one right here is a live video that I put up, and I can see the difference between, okay, if I upload a video natively on Facebook, what is the engagement compared to a live stream video on Facebook, or a shared video, which is a lot lower, by the way, or a link, or a photo. What does that look like? So this is kind of where you're just like, okay, this is what I did. This was the results. Study that, and then take the best practices and apply that to grow your business. So that's my actual strategy that I use for myself and my clients on our weekly checkup every single week. I hope you found a lot of value in this. If you did, make sure you follow me if you're not following me already. If you'd like to be a part of my inner circle, my private Facebook group, The Talent Tribe, you can go to bit.ly/Talented One, all lowercase, all one word, and that'll take you to my private Facebook group, The Talent Tribe. And that is where I share a lot of my experience, a lot of my knowledge when it comes to social media marketing, emoji marketing, Facebook ads, e-commerce, online business, virtual assistants, outsourcing, automation, real estate hacks. I just kind of share a lot of stuff with my community here, and there's a lot of people in the group. So it's a supportive area if you're looking to really pursue down this path and you would like a community of like-minded, supportive people who share what they learn. Definitely join the Talent Tribe. Would love to see you there. That's bit.ly/Talented One. And make sure you follow me on all my social media at Talented Mr. Salas. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next training.